Hi there. This is another episode of Treasure Valley NIA QuickTips. What it is I am the franchise owner of a once-a-month professional referral groups, and out of that, I meet a lot of local experts in their field, and I bring them on the show just to kind of share their expertise with the audience. So today's a perfect example. Phillip, introduce yourself.
Hey, good morning, Scott. So my name is Phillip Miller. I'm the local owner of the ProLift Garage Doors franchise here in Idaho. So we cover the Boise area, Treasure Valley. We've been up to Pine and Featherville. I'm making a trip to Grangeville in a couple weeks.
Wow.
But we like to stick here in the valley mostly. And yeah, we do residential garage doors, service, repairs, installations, all of that.
Cool. Yeah, I know I have friends that have used you and I've introduced you to people, and it's like that rolls right in. The question is, what got you into the getting into garage doors? I mean, it's a franchise. Mine's a franchise too. I'm a fan of franchises, but why garage doors?
So I guess a combination of factors. But long story short, I was really going after a business that took care of their clients and was all about the customer experience. And we just happened to sell garage doors. So as I was going through the process of looking at different businesses to start up, I wanted something that would, number one, be local, because all my previous jobs to this have been out of state. And number two, I wanted it to serve people like, hey, we've got a problem, we need some help. And the third, I just wanted to help people, make them happy, and really get the 5-star review on everything that we can do. And this actually fit the bill the best.
Perfect. I know I've heard that by a friend that teaches a very successful martial arts school up in Spokane area, and then also Coach Peterson, former BSU coach. They similar themes is, I just want to help build the Christ Studio, men, women, and men, right? Good character, good people. And Coach Pete was the same way. Is that and his vehicle was football. So it's the same for you, is just to give that excellent customer service. It's providing, you happen to sell and service garage doors.
Exactly. Yep. Make people smile at the end of the day. That's what we want.
That's right. Speaking of smiling, I've heard before that they say that the garage door, is kind of the smile of your house. And I never really thought about kind of like the garage doors being, kind of, what's the big deal about garage doors? And then I started thinking about coming to interviewing you, and I was saying, holy crud, if it wasn't for Amazon, I wouldn't go out my front door.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my family uses a garage door over and over. I mean, it's probably it's one of the most important entrances and exits to their houses. So once I thought about that, I thought, something that makes you a little bit more important.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
find that
Kids come
most
in
of your
and leave them to
customers
school.
utilize their garage doors for all types of stuff, like,
Yeah.
and not the front door.
That's right. Yeah. Depending on your usage and your family size, that door could go up 5, 6, 10 times a day, up and
Yeah.
down. And it's
Yeah.
all got moving parts, and they all have a life expectancy.
Yeah. And when it doesn't, it's an emergency. Because then it's like,
That's right.
holy
Yeah.
smokes, now we got to go through the front door. It's going to be snowing out. So yeah, that. So now you've been doing this for about a year,
Mhm.
right? So what are you seeing out there? How has it been?
Oh, wow. Yeah, as everybody knows, the building here in the Treasure Valley exploded. It's starting to slow off, but there's still people every day with garage doors that need some help. So we get a lot of calls. The one that I enjoy probably the most, which probably isn't a good thing, but every now and then an accident happens. Your car says hello to your garage door by accident. And it happens more often than you think.
I've actually sent you like 2 referrals within the last couple of weeks from people that, I don't know if they do roofing or anyway, but they asked me for your contact info because one of their teenage kids ran into their garage door.
Yep. Yep. I mean, it happens. And when it does, give us a call. We'll be happy to help.
So
But
what
other
you
than
see,
that, oh,
what other type of things you seen out there?
Well, a lot of the things broken springs, just because
Yeah.
the garage doors go up and down a lot, those springs take a lot of wear and tear, and they're designed for anywhere between 10 to 15,000 cycles, and a cycle's going up and down. But yeah, the more you use it, the quicker they're going to break. So we've got fully stocked trucks. We're ready to go. You give us a call. We aim for same day service.
Oh, that's
You
awesome.
are, yeah, if you're stuck in your garage, give us a call. We'll get you out as quickly as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I actually had that happen before I know you. And the same exact thing is my garage door,
Mhm.
you know, the spring broke and I was stuck. There's an emergency release that got me out of the garage. But then what do? You got to get a ladder or something to lift that up and down, let your car out, push it back down again. But I like the fact that you can do same day service because that would have been a hassle to have someone come out, check out what type of spring you have. So you guys have like pretty much all the springs there are.
We do. Yep.
Okay.
Anywhere from the small ones up to the massive ones. And I think the heaviest door we've seen, just for a fun story, it was in
Okay.
Eagle in one of the nicer subdivisions, but it was made of wood and it was a thick door, probably
Wow.
2 inches thick. But when it rains, that door absorbs the water and gets heavy. But it had 2 sets of springs. And by sets, I mean 2 sets of two. So it had 4 heavy-duty springs,
Wow.
where most garage doors maybe take 1 or 2. But it had 4 up there, and that was a fun project.
What happened? I mean,
It was just an old door, and it did not want to go up with all that weight, and one of the springs had broken. And so just
wow.
one out of the 4 made that door
Wow.
almost inoperable because it was so heavy.
Wow. So speaking of that, I heard I was at a Meridian chamber event with you, and somebody asked you if you did. He showed you a picture, I don't know, some fancy. I'd never seen one before, but it was actually a restaurant, I think. But it had kind of
Hmm,
uh, a mirror, not a mirror, but glass in it. And you
that's
said you
right.
could do those type. So what was that? I mean,
So
because
we
like I said,
call
I would have
those,
never thought a garage door had glass in it.
no, basically it's a frame and it's full view glass. So most of the panels are glass with just a little bit of aluminum framing around the edges. We've done one in Caldwell. We're going to do another one here in Nampa, right on the boulevard, where it's just, you can see in and out all the time, or you can raise it up out of the way when you want that indoor outdoor experience.
Cool. So
Classy
that
looking.
yeah, show 'em, who I mean, that I think that was a restaurant or something or a business.
It was actually, I think, Rizzoni's Pizza. They just opened up here in Meridian.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what's that do? So they you can see out, like let's say it was raining out or snowing out, you could see out, but then
mhm,
in the daytime you can roll it up so you have a kind of a outdoor atmosphere.
exactly right. Yeah.
Huh, that's cool. So I
This
mean,
was,
speaking of that, huh?
oh, go for it.
Yeah, as I speaking of that, just real quick, what other type? Because again, um, somebody that's maybe redoing a remodel of their house or building a new house, what type of garage doors do you guys? I mean, do you guys do all types of garage doors? You need an all time. I mean, if somebody comes up with some crazy garage door, they see, you know, they see some picture of it and go, "Oh, that's a beautiful garage door." Can you kind of special order stuff for them?
Oh, definitely. And I think the trend right now is to add some glass panels, like you said, maybe not a full view,
Oh,
but at least some glass either along the top panel or along the side. A lot of the people like that right now. It's a modern
huh?
look, but that just lets the natural light into your garage, and it
Oh,
looks good. And like you
yeah,
said,
because yeah,
it's the
the
front
natural
of your
light that makes
house,
sense.
and yeah.
Make that makes sense because like in my garage, I had to get some fancy LED because no matter how I did it, if the blinds were closed, it was dark. I mean, I had to get fancy, but that makes sense to get more light in your garage because
Mhm.
with me, I had to get special lighting to. It just was so I like bright, you know, when I'm out there, but it just is dark all the time,
Ah,
and so that makes sense if you want to put some windows on your garage door to let some light in there.
sounds like I need to swing by and offer you some or show you some options.
That's right. Hey, so when you're doing what's the most common? I mean, what's your? I mean, I think you said that, but is there what's a springs and what else is there kind of the most common thing you get called for?
Yeah, I would say broken springs or maybe a frayed cable. So the cables connect up to where the springs are down to the bottom of the door, and they lift the door. Sometimes those will get rubbed on and frayed, and those will snap, and then your door is not going to go anywhere.
Oh, and what's the difference between a cable garage door with the cable and with the chain.
Okay, so now you're talking the motors, the openers.
Oh yeah, the opener. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
You do. I
fine.
mean, you do the whole thing, right? You do all that.
We do all of
Yeah.
that. So really, there's different levels for the openers and the motors. You've got your chain, that's the basic one. You can hear those. It's like a bike chain.
Yeah.
The next step up is called a belt drive. Those are a little bit smoother, a little bit quieter. And then there's different manufacturers. So LiftMaster and Genie are probably the most prominent ones out there.
Okay.
But we offer one, it's branded actually to ProLift, made by a company called Meridian that's out of Germany. So it's like a BMW version. Belt drive, but super quiet. Like you couldn't even tell it's on if you're in the house. It's wonderful.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's cool. Yeah, because that's even with the belt drive, I have a belt. It's not terribly, but it's still, you can, I mean, I can tell when someone's home.
Yep. Yep. You can hear it going up or slamming when it shuts. Yeah. There's a lot of
So-
clues you can see.
That's
can
cool. So you do the whole gamut. I mean, somebody needs, because I know a few things you've done, because I've got heard people, ask if you do stuff, or ask me to ask you if you do stuff. And so yeah, you have a garage door that isn't working right. And excuse me, the opener's not working right. You can replace that for them,
Absolutely.
reprogram it for them. You can pretty much anything they do with the garage door, you can handle it.
Correct. Yep. Anything around the house with this garage doors, we got it.
Awesome. And then the last thing here is I want to know because I actually asked you at a ribbon cutting, your ribbon cutting, and I was told by a garage door person on the springs to use WD-40. And what did you tell me?
Yeah. Don't do it.
That was a garage door person too that told me that. Said, "Oh yeah, just spray on the springs, just spray WD-40 all over them."
No, stop that. So right next to WD-40, if you're in the home goods store, whether it's Home Depot or Lowe's, there's usually a can of white lithium grease. Use that instead.
Okay. Why is that? I mean, just
Oh, I'm sure it's got something to do with the chemicals.
okay.
Just yeah, white lithium grease is better. You can spray that on the hinges of the doors, between the panels, across the springs. But a quick tip for those homeowners out there when they paint their garages: don't paint any of the moving parts of a garage door. So the inside panels, the rollers that connect to the track, the springs, don't paint any of that stuff. If it moves, don't paint it, please.
Okay. That's a good tip, because what is this going to rub off, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll cause more extra friction and things. The parts will wear out quicker.
Okay, last thing on the painting the doors, because that's something that I'm thinking about, is anything on a garage door, regular old garage door. Is there any special type of paint or?
Ooh, that's a great question. I actually work in tandem with a painter. He
Okay.
gets it at it's not Sherwin-Williams, but yeah, he just picks up regular paint. And when you paint the outside, that's great. Just make sure that between the panels and between the door and the weather seal, the trim on the edges, just to break those seals after you paint it, because paint likes to stick. And then just break those seals, run the door up and down a couple times, you'll be good to go.
Perfect. Well, awesome. Hey, this has been great, Phillip. Appreciate what's the best way for listeners to get a hold of you?
Perfect. We've got a website where you can book appointments. It's just find proliftdoors.com, or you can give us a call, and usually my admin team answers because I'm on ladders a lot.
Okay.
But it's a local number, 208-725-3253. Or if you see us on the roads, just flag us down and pull us to the side of the road.
Yeah, and I'll put your contact information in the show notes too. So hey,
Oh,
perfect. Appreciate you, Phil. Like I said, last kudos to you is I have referred you to several people, and I always get great reviews from you. So anybody looking to get their garage doors done, give Phillip a call. He is awesome.
Great to hear. Thank you for your time, Scott.
Yep. Hey, thanks, Phillip.
Have a good one.